up their competitive edge through sustainability. The Mandaue Chamber of Commerce and Industry is also encouraging its members to innovate their businesses to thrive in this age of disruption. Joining us now in the studio are John King, Managing Director of King's Quality and Food and Board of Trustee at MCCI, and Stanley Go, President of MCCI and Vice President of Virginia Food Inc., as well as MCCI Board of Trustees. And welcome you here to the show. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Cebu.
Thank you, Cathy.
And congratulations to your appointment as the President of the Chamber.
Yes, thank you so much for having us this afternoon. And we are very happy to share with you also our events in the Mandaue Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
And you've really championed sustainability. I mean, that comes out as the real big word in your leadership. Why did you choose that word?
Right now, we are not anymore competing with local players. We are competing globally. And that's the reason also why in the Mandaue Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we adopted the theme, Breaking Boundaries, Defying Limits. And I believe that is really up for sustainability as well.
And you're the chairman of the Mandaue Business Month. It's a lot going on over the next couple of weeks. What's in store?
Our highlight is the Business Summit. So it's a business conference on August 23, next Thursday. And we invite international and business philanthropists like Mr. Louis Ferrer of GMR Megaway to share knowledge and inspiration to those who want to improve their business. And obviously, we are working together with the LGUs, especially DOTR. We have a few speakers in line also.
DOTR, this relates to the infrastructure build and the roads and bridges that's needed to spur business.
Yes, that's right.
How would you be helping the President in the Chamber retain and sustain sustainability as well as innovation, because these are the hallmarks of this current leadership? John?
Yes, well, our airport is one of the projects that is continuing to grow. As what I've read, 12 million tourists is the capacity from 4 million. So this is a BOT project from the previous administration. But infrastructure, as far as roads, they are very supportive of our infrastructure, especially now that the tourism and as well as the business community is growing there.
Is there a lot of build going on in Mandaue?
Yes,
crossing
definitely.
over the bridge from Cebu?
Not just, there's a lot of build going on, not just coming from government, but even the private sector is very positive and very, aggressive in terms of investment. And if you go to Mandaue City, well, you cannot enter Cebu without passing through Mandaue City. You will see all the construction going around. So
that's true, but it is an industrial zone. I mean, how is that changing now with the kind of density we're seeing in Cebu City? A lot of the businesses are moving out of the growth city and into the second and third tier cities.
Mandaue City is known to be the furniture capital of the Philippines now, and you will see a lot of warehouses there as well, industrial, manufacturing companies. But these business types like warehouses have been moving out because it has been converting most of its properties into commercial, high-value manufacturing, hotels and restaurants. So when you go there, you don't need to leave Mandaue. Within Mandaue City alone, you will have the 4-star hotels with the commercial establishments there.
Rents must have gone up. My goodness.
Even the price of properties have gone up. Yes. Right now, it's priced more than 100,000 already per square meter.
And you're in the food business. I mean, it is the furniture capital of the Philippines, but you're both friends and rivals. You're in businesses that process meats and hot dogs and all that's canned. Yeah. I'm thinking now what's going on with both your businesses because of inflation, now at record highs.
Yes. Currently, food consumption is high. In fact,
it still is for the products that you sell.
Definitely, and we are growing double digits, and we are trying to really cope up with the demand. The important thing is, exchange rate is going up. Early this year, we had a 52 peso exchange rate. Now it's 54. Definitely, costs are up, but we mitigate this by increasing productivity. We engage in different technologies, equipments, even formulations to help us cope with the increasing prices of raw materials.
Okay, so that's an open business secret, right? So John, I mean, you know what he's doing, and what are you
Yes,
doing
yes.
in your own business?
Well-
Are you also trying to raise productivity, or did you have to raise prices?
We try to maintain the prices, and obviously
So you haven't.
we
at
haven't
all. Yeah.
increased the prices. Obviously, we've expanded in area of coverage. Bohol is growing, and the other areas of Visayas like Negros, Iloilo. So we are expanding geographically in those areas.
Because that's your strength. It's really in the
Yes.
Bisman area,
Yes, that's right.
and the zone is very competitive. But you've made a mention, Stanley, of the exchange rate. I mean, it's rising right now, but still relatively weaker since the start of the year. How is that impacting a food company like yours? Is it because of the import of the raw material that's causing you to worry a lot about costs?
Yes, definitely. The exchange rate is one factor. The acquisition prices are always higher because of other countries bidding for a higher price for these meat items. So we import maybe 70 to 80% of our requirements because the local cannot supply our meat processing requirements.
Because
And-
it's not enough, because demand's too high.
Yes, yes. The demand is high, the prices are high, so we have to be creative and improve the formula and improve the quality and source it out to other countries who are more efficient.
Do you think you might have to raise prices before the year is out because of inflation?
As much as possible, we try to keep the prices as it is. But of course, we cannot predict as to how the market or how the market will react. If inflation still persists, then we might have to really increase our
Still
prices.
persists like maybe third or fourth quarter?
Yes, yes.
And what about yourself? What would be the tipping point?
Yes.
Going to the productivity side and the volume side, we try to really spread the cost and improve in the volumes and the efficiency. So that's really the last recourse because we are concerned about the consumers and we have an advocacy to really make sure that the prices are affordable.
What about interest rates? Because it's already gone up a full percentage point in just over 4 months. How is that impacting your loans and your ability to actually borrow from the banks if you wanted to expand?
There are a lot of ways to approach it. Like for example, how we deal with our customers as well. So we increase the collection rate so that we can also lower the amount of loan that we avail from the banks. So before we were averaging like around 60 days in terms of accounts receivable. So how you mitigate this? You can either bring down it to 30 days or 15 days. Then you can actually balance off the increasing interest rate as well.
Same thing with yourself.
Yes. Well, we try to leverage also on the supplier side, who can extend credit terms. And we look at it on the other side that we can pay cash, and so we can leverage on volumes as well.
It's interesting that you say demand remains high even as we've seen inflation pick up. Did the tax reform package 1, the extra money that people got back because of tax reform, make any difference at all with the kind of buying activity you saw in the first half? Or did that just evaporate because inflation just went up too fast, too soon?
I cannot really account whether the increase in demand and increase in purchasing power of the consumers is brought about by the impact of the train. But if you look around, it's really hard to get people to work in the construction business right now in Mandaue and Cebu. These construction workers are no longer from Mandaue and Cebu. They are from the neighboring islands. We need to say employment is high, people have money. So this may also have caused the increase in consumption of food. So I cannot say exactly that it is because of train, but it is because of the economic activity in the areas where we locate ourselves. We see that there is income coming in, there's consumption is also increasing.
Tax reform package 2. How is that going to affect those businesses? Because it involves a cut in corporate income taxes as well as rationalization of incentives. John?
Well, on our end, we are a VAT-exempted company, so we really have to be creative since we buy the VAT-exempt meat. So we absorb the 12% on the value-added tax side. But as far as the other train expenses, the logistics cost is always high. We really have to be creative, and then we really have to find a way to improve efficiencies as well.
Are you in favor of it or not?
I think overall, I would. Do we have a choice? Actually,
Well, you could at least make proposals.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
would be
yeah,
really
yeah,
conducive
yeah.
for business?
Yeah.
I would say the syntax is really a four. If you can obviously the cost of health. The cost of hospitalizations can reduce the consumption of high sugar drinks.
I believe at the end of the day, the government needs money for us to invest on infrastructure, and which is good for business. So I believe that the train too, as long as the money that they get from, or revenues that they get from the taxes are properly invested in order to help create a better business environment, I fully agree with the proposal.
What about federalism? At the start of this week, we had 7 business groups coming to us with a statement saying they'd rather see a more thorough review of the shift to federalism. Then came 19 more.
Okay.
But I didn't see the Mandaue Chamber of Commerce in that letter. What is your position?
Okay, it's a matter of perspective. So I'll talk about my personal perspective on this matter. Now, if you look at on the tax payment to the national coffers, no? Mandaue Cebu would rank probably in the top 10 in terms of contribution to the tax on the national level. But if you turn that around, and if you look at the investment made by the national government to Cebu, I don't think that we are in the top 10. So I believe that federalism would probably be good for cities like Mandaue and Cebu. Especially that Mandaue and Cebu, we choose very good local leaders, and I believe that that is one of the factors that we need to look at when you shift to federalism. You decentralize the power of the national government, and you really need good people to run the show. So if you switch to federalism and you have local officials that are not good or not competent, then it will be detrimental to that particular city. But I believe that Mandaue and Cebu, they choose very good leaders, so I think it would be advantageous for us.
Did the group approach you to ask your opinion and even sign the letter?
I don't think I remember they talked to me.
That was just recently launched, right? The train too,
Yes.
right?
But what about you, John? Do you agree with Stanley's view about federalism for Mandaue?
I think as far as the Bureau of Customs and the BR, we are one of the top contributors, and definitely we have now seen some benefits with the new administration investing back infrastructure to our place. So we are benefiting because of a certain shift. I think economically, it will benefit the provincial cities. Iloilo, for example, has been benefiting from the infrastructure benefits that they're contributing. So economically, I am for federalism, depending on the different benefits that it can give in other aspects of the Constitution.
Much appreciate the assessment and all the best in your business month for Mandaue. Much appreciate you coming over.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stanley Go of the Mandaue Chamber of Commerce and Industry with John King here in the studio. Now, foreign